I want to tell you a story about shoveling snow. I just finished shoveling my driveway. Now I don't have a little driveway. I really don't. It's a U-shaped driveway, and there's this section that is where two cars can fit. That's aside from the U-shaped driveway. And we also had to shovel a path to where our oil tank goes, the pipe for the oil tank, because we got oil coming on Wednesday. It was a lot, like a real lot. And I don't have 4 kids to help me shovel anymore. It's me and the Edster and my 22-year-old son, who begrudgingly got out of bed and decided to help us shovel. Well, he didn't decide. We kind of decided for him. But anyway, as I was shoveling and I recognized that my son was keeping up from me pace by pace. Now, I had the electric shovel. I am 55 after all. I had the electric shovel, the battery operated one, but I was still, he would make a path and then I would clear that huge chunk, and then he'd make another path and I'd clear the huge chunk. He cleared the edge of the driveway. We have two edges of our driveway because U-shaped driveway. But the plow comes across the street and plows it directly into our driveway. So we have twice as much snow to shovel there. And he was shoveling it. And he didn't complain, not even once. And I have to think that he was not complaining because I wasn't complaining. I was just working just as hard right next to him. And he says, "Mama, we make a good team. We're working hard. We're getting a lot done." And I was like, he noticed, he recognized this. And the reason why this matters to me is I have a very distinct memory of shoveling when I was little. I grew up in a house that had a very long winding driveway, probably about twice the size of my driveway. And it had this very big square area at the top, which could house probably about 6 cars. Again, twice the size of the driveway I currently have. Now, there were 4 of us kids, and my dad and my mom, but my mom didn't shovel, and my dad really didn't shovel much either. He would make us kids do it all. And there was one year that I hated that, by the way. I really hated that. I despised my father for making us do that because I was 7 years older than my sister and 12 years older than my younger sister. They certainly were not able to shovel for as long as they could, most of the time that I lived there. So I don't, my memories are of me and my brother shoveling a lot. But there was this one year, and my dad said, if you shovel this driveway, it was a very big snowstorm. If you shovel this driveway and you get it done and you do it well, I'll take you skiing. I loved skiing. It would have been cheaper for us to have hired somebody to come and plow it. And this is back in the early 80s. So, it wasn't like snow blowers were as plentiful as they are now. That was one of those things that rich people had, and we weren't not having that. And we had ruts in our driveway too. That was the other thing. We had ruts. So we couldn't really plow it and we couldn't really snow blow it anyway. It was a stone driveway with ruts, and we had to shovel it. We had to shovel this winding driveway. And I remember shoveling it and shoveling it and shoveling it and being very discouraged because I felt like we were just never going to get this done. And we were doing this so that we could go skiing. I really wanted to go skiing. And my dad looked out the window and he saw that we were struggling, and he came out and he joined us. And he helped us shovel so that we could all go skiing. Now, mind you, in hindsight, I look back and I'm like, okay, well, he probably just wanted to go skiing himself. He probably already had the plans to go skiing, and he used us shoveling the driveway as a means to get the driveway done. But he did notice that we were struggling, and he came out and he helped us. And then he brought us skiing the next day. I don't ever want my kids to feel that I am not going to work alongside them. I'm not going to make them feel like they owe me something. I'm not going to make them feel like they were put on this earth to be my slave labor. I will work very hard right alongside of them. I don't expect them to go back into the house while I'm working hard outside by myself. That would be unacceptable. But I'm not going to make them go outside and shovel all day by themselves. I'm not. I'll work right alongside them so that at some point my kids will say, "Mama, we make a good team." I always want to be a good team with my kids.